Hi, it's Wayne Bergman here. Just wanting to share on YouTube a little bit of work I'm doing on a couple of maple slabs in the shop. There's a sled I've made up that's working pretty handy for working as a jointer for large oversized surfaces. This is the underside of the next slab I'm doing for this project. It's 10.5 feet long, this maple slab, and a couple inches thick. And the sled I made is plywood with formica top and bottom, so it slides easy on the rails, and then a little bit of a cavity there that the router bit can shoot through, and that just sits on top of that level, and then this straight edge I've got, and I can just shuffle those along the table and cantilever them out past the edge of the table as well for pieces that are longer than my bench. So the key to this one that makes this work well is when I first built the bench, the top of the bench, I used the same sled to get it flat. That rail at the back mounted to the wall, and this rail here, which was mounted on the side here in my vise and then held parallel to the other one, I used the sled running on those to get the surface of the table really flat. So there's no twists in it. And then with these legs, I can level it out and whatnot if I'm wanting to resource level or refer back to level. So yeah, it worked pretty slick. You know, you can see on this is just the underside, so I'm not really concerned about getting this perfect. I just want the edges to look parallel after this is flipped over. So the underside looks like it's the same thickness all the way across. So I'm trying not to take too much off. And the router bit I'm using is one of these guys from Lee Valley that's shaped like that with a radius on it. And I just jigged up a little something to hold my vacuum in place off of the router. And this is a shop dust collector, a General, that works pretty good for this kind of thing. Yeah, you can see here, this I've just sanded down to 120. There's not much that's left from that radius router bit after you're cleaning things up. It's pretty easy to sand down, and I've just gone over it with 120 grit here. And here's where I haven't quite gone down to take the rough sawn from the sawmill out, but I don't need to because it's the underside of the table. I'm just wanting to make sure I clean up each edge at least. So on some places I'm only going 1/8 of an inch down here on this one. So anyways, I'm going to put this up on the workbench here and just start stuff up and just give it a couple of quick passes so you can see it go. So it's pretty slick. You can see, you know, the amount I step it over is probably just about halfway, something like that. And you get a pretty clean surface. Really easy to sand over afterwards. These little scallops that you're seeing here, you can hardly feel that. It's more visible than it is something that you can feel. So it gets knocked off with 120 grit pretty good. So anyways, I wanted to share that. It's a real slick system. Like this slab is 10.5 feet long. And just shoving my two side pieces that are my rails, I reclamp and just move them down the way. And I could easily do probably a 14-foot length if I really wanted to. And you can just build up your thickness with shims and then build up the table with shims as well. So you're pretty much good to go. Once you get a flat table, you're pretty much good to go to tackle anything from, you know, 1 inch thick to, you know, 5 or 10 inches, just building up where you need. And yeah, so it works pretty slick.